Okay, so I just wanted to go through and somewhat showcase my first web scraping project that I have worked on. I've been working on this on and off for the past month or so, where originally, as I have here on my old GitHub, um, I was working through it recursively, and it was highly inefficient and was not working. So I had to redo it iteratively. I decided to take a little bit of a break, and now I am getting back at it. So to start with, I need a couple modules, and the way that I built this, just for the record, is kind of sloppy, very sloppy, and just going from the top down. I knew what I had to do from the beginning, and I already kind of had experience, so I knew it made the process a lot easier. But I think the fact that recursively doing this didn't work um, caused a lot of fear in me and kept me from avoiding functions. And so I have this, which I believe is somewhat bad practice, but it doesn't really need to be within a function. So I didn't wrap it in one. Um, Although I do have a couple different things going on here. So let's start from the beginning. Right away, I knew that I wanted to make this. Right away, I knew I wanted to do tortoiseforms.org, right? So if we go to this website, this is what it looks like. Pretty cool. Um, it's got a little bit of variety. So you've got some where you click on it and you have all these posts and you can go to the next page. And then you've got some with little sub forums that you can only access by clicking through the sub forum link. And then you've got some that are only sub forums and with no forums in it. So that provided a little bit of a challenge and a little bit of variety. Um, Anyways, and then looking through this here, this is empty. This is an external hard drive I have just for um, this project. I wanted it to automatically sort based off of these topics, and then, um, well, actually, sort based off of these topics, and then within these topics, and then each individual post, and then indexed by page and number along that page. So now we can get into the code. This is all this is. It's defining the website that I'm going to use, but makes it easy to refer to the URL and the name of the website later on without having a bunch of global variables. Um, Same with this class, pretty basic as it initializes. This is really the path, but the first one is the root, but it's really the path. Um, I have the name, and then I have this here, which automatically makes a directory at the path that you give it. And then within this, you can add a subdirectory, which is really just creating another directory and appending to the existing root with its new name. And then if you want to call a subdirectory, it's in this list that was made at initialization of every object. And then, yeah, so you have a list of a directory, and then each directory has a list of all of its subdirectories. And then there's this here, but I actually don't know if yeah, I do use this quite a bit. It just returns the subs. Um, and then skipping these functions, I just went straight into it. So I initialized the website in the directory, and I started web scraping using beautiful soup. One thing I'd like to point out here, though, is instead of using timestamps, I went with the universal unique um, identifier, and only up to 8 characters. And the simple reasoning for that is that the time is kind of irrelevant, and I just wanted to make sure that each of these was each time I tested this, it would be different because when I do finally do one full web scrape, I am just gonna do it all at once, so there's no point in having a timestamp. All right, grabs these containers, yada yada yada. Basically, the first thing it does is it goes through and iterates through the topics. Um, and creates a new directory or a new subdirectory within the main directory of those topics. And then within each of those, it looks through and finds the other topics. So this right here is this. Welcome to tortoiseforum.org or tortoise topics. And then this here is iterating through that and within each directory creating another directory, which is each of these. Now this is where I ran into the issue of whether or not it has the big titles, whether it has the forums, only the titles, or only the forums. So I haven't implemented these yet. This is a minority, probably 1/5 of the total topics, and that's why I haven't actually scraped all of this stuff yet. But basically I do this by looking to see within each if it has the title and the forum, and then if it has no titles, then it must be all forum. Um, when it's all forum, basically what it does is it finds the last page, which is visible right here, the last page. And when you go to the last page, they index it like this, which honestly isn't a very good practice, but it made it easy for me. So they just add page dash 599. Um, so I iterate through that, and each time there's a page, I change the URL to add that extension to the end of it, and then for each page, I go through each post, and I call this function, create forum. And then up here, create forum. Oh, sorry, let's check forum. I apologize. Create forum to something similar. So, similar to going through this and finding the last one, it does that on here because there's certain posts. Like if I can find one. Um, there's certain posts that also have this little thing up here, and then it won't grab all the posts. So it iterates through that, sees if it has it. If it does, it's going to scroll through all of them. If not, it's just going to grab all the posts and save it. And then, yeah, I've got a couple other things here for formatting it in case it has emojis or other things that aren't Unicode format. Um, or so that way Windows doesn't go crazy when I try to save files with symbols in them. And that is basically it. So I can run this real quick and give a quick example of what it looks like. So each indent is a new post, and then within that is a page within a post. And then these ones on the very left is each page. Um, so if we go into here, we see that this was generated, and it automatically created all of these directories. And within that, it created all the subdirectories. I'm coming here, and this is constantly growing. As you can see, this is getting smaller. And if we go through here, I want to find the big one. Um, something about a tortoise named Zola. Here it is. This is how it's formatted. It has a title at the top, the date, which is found here the post number, the person who actually posted, and whether they're a member, a well-known member, a new member, um, and then what they actually said. This isn't really practical for reading on Notepad. It would be more practical, even though it's a text document, to read um, with this is being weird. Um, like I don't know, it's being weird. With Google Docs, but or not Google Docs, sorry, Microsoft Word. But I could go through and format that, but I don't really want to. So thank you for watching my little snapshot here. I've been working on it for a little bit. Um, if you want to take a look at the code, I have my GitHub repository here under Michael Pinero Code and tortoiseforms.org. Um, and yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if there is any improvements that you immediately see, or if you would like to talk about the project.